Hello, world. Welcome. This is Barbie Lee and Shake Talk. We're finishing up chapter 3 of the 15 commitments of conscious leadership. I love this book, and I love that you're joining, and I love that you come and you share a few minutes with me in the mornings on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays to talk about really real things in the world that really help to assure your quality of life, because that's what I'm all about here, right? We're about food, finances, fun, faith, right? Teaching people the new F words. This is what I'm all about. So this week we've been talking about chapter 3. Of course, we have our Isogenics Isoline shake first thing in the morning. Mine's the chocolate mint. And people are like, how come you don't pour it in your wine glass anymore? Well, because I shake it now, because when we were on our trip, our blender burst in Athens. The converter we brought didn't support the blender. And anyways, it smelled. And anyway, so I had to shake my shakes for 3 weeks. And the only one I really liked shaken, hello, Carol, good morning. The only one I liked shaken was my chocolate mint. Everything else I still blend. So just so you know. Because people are like, Barbie Lee, it's funny. People give a crap how I make my shakes. So there it is. That's the truth. All right, so this is the book we're doing. This is my Kindle version. Sorry about the reflection, but that's what it is. It's the 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, a New Paradigm for Sustainable Success by Detmer, Chapman, and Klemp. All right, so we've been talking about feelings versus thinkings. We did that on Wednesday, so you can go back and watch that Shake Talk. I also am posting these on my YouTube, so make sure you find me, Barbie Lee Hemmings, on YouTube. So today we're going to talk about the wisdom of feelings and your practices. So remember, we talked about there's 5 basic feelings. So we're going to talk about each one of them a little more specifically. But I loved this line. It says, all 3 centers of intelligence, the head, the heart, and the gut. That's the 3 centers of intelligence. Give tremendous knowing to a leader. The wisdom of the heart center of emotional intelligence that is an essential to great leadership, but typically goes untapped. So many people, good morning, Jessica. So many people ignore their feelings and they squash them, and we talked about that. So go back to the last one. So they say in the book, so anger is one of the feelings they've identified, tells a leader that something is not or is no longer of service, right? It says when a conscious leader moves from anger to eliminate what is no longer of service, they very often don't look angry on the outside. There's no outburst. There's only the clarity that comes after they've identified anger and let it move through the body, right? Ooh, yeah, I could. Carol, sorry, I totally got sidetracked because Carol made a comment. She said, shake it and then pour it into your painted glass. Everybody happy. You know what? I actually have to have a painting party to make new glasses because I only have one left, but that's a darn good idea. All right, so it says there's only the clarity that comes after they've identified anger and let it move through their body. There's a lot of angry people in my world right now. There's something going on, and we're coming through it, and we're working through our feelings, so it's beautiful. So fear tells a leader that something important needs to be known, right? So anger is about something not serving. Fear says something needs to be known, because we're only afraid of the unknown, right? So when somebody has a fear, or some people say, oh, it's an irrational fear of spiders or snakes or the dark or enclosed spaces, whatever, there's a reason behind it, right? There's a reason. I know that I'm a little claustrophobic because my brother used to babysit me by playing hide and seek with me and putting me in a closet and leaving me there until I woke up when my mom came home, because I'd usually fall asleep in the closet thinking I'm winning the game of hide and seek. Anyway, that's a whole other world. So it says leaders who lack access to this fear are dangerous because they don't adequately sense danger and are often living in denial of reality. So fear is a real part of leadership, but it's learning to identify then what is unknown, right? So then it says sadness. Sadness tells a leader that something needs to be let go of and said goodbye to or moved on from. Leaders who can't feel sadness are dangerous because they hang on to old ideas, people, projects, and dreams long after they have served their purpose. Sadness is a big one, right? Joy tells a leader that something needs to be celebrated, appreciated, or laughed at, or someone needs to be patted on the back. Even people don't experience or express joy, right? There's if you ever watched Netflix, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right? The captain of the I'm terrible at TV shows. I watch them but have no idea. Whoever the captain is, right? He's like, well, don't you see? I'm enthusiastic. I'm bounding with joy. Because that's his whole persona, right? And it's funny because some people don't really express joy, right? Ooh, which one, Carol? You tell me which one you want me to repeat, and I will. All right. Sexual feelings, which also is creativity. It says sexual feelings are the energy of creativity and creation. They tell the leader that something new wants to be birthed, to be created, to come into this world. So those are the 5 main ones, okay? And then everything falls underneath them, right? So I'm doing my phone if you're wondering what I'm doing over here on the side. So anger tells a leader that something is not or no longer of service. Fear tells a leader that something important needs to be known. Sadness tells a leader that something needs to be let go of, said goodbye to, or moved on from. And joy tells a leader that something needs to be celebrated, appreciated, or laughed at, or someone needs to be patted on the back. And sexual feelings are the energy of creativity and creation. They tell the leader that something new wants to be birthed, to be created, to come into the world. Jessica said, emotions are so great at making me realize things. And Jessica, when we tap into those emotions, absolutely, that's the whole point of them. If we just squash them, then we don't learn, we don't move forward, we just get stuck in this stuff, right? And we don't want to be stuck. Life is juicy and delicious and greater expansion and glorious and ooh, yummy, right? But if we get stuck in our feelings, we don't get this chance to grow. So Carol, I did reread sadness, so hopefully that was enough for you. Now, it says commitment in action. So what always happens, because I told you this book is a business book, right? So how do you practice the commitment? So it says to practice the commitment, we recommend the following. Stop periodically throughout your day and simply ask yourself this question, or these questions. What am I feeling right now? And the answer to the question must be one of the 5 core feelings: sad, scared, or feared, angry, joyful, or sexual. So do not analyze the feeling and search for the why you are feeling it. Simply label it and go back to doing what you're doing. Okay, that's step 1, right? When a feeling arises, pause, locate in your body, figure out where the bits are, like where it is in the body. Breathe and allow the bits to simply do what they need to do. Move and or make a sound to match what the bits are doing. I told you the other day, one of my favorite is because, and sometimes I go if I really need to release, because that makes me feel better. But that breath is so important. So it says, in a nutshell, feelings are one of the universe's greatest gifts to human beings. They add richness and color to life. When emotions are understood, enjoyed and released, and wondered about with curiosity, they are a leader's essential ally. So here's the thing. We tend to hide our feelings, right? We tend to hold them back. I always tell people, I'm an open book, right? I don't hide my feelings. I will experience them, and then I might respond or react differently than, like if I'm angry and I might go, what the? But then I can, okay, hold on a second. Okay, what's it? Yeah. Okay, what do I need to know here, right? So because I've been working on, right, I used to be called a crybaby. I know, nice brothers and sisters, right? Now you're such a crybaby. Go cry to mom. So I would, right? I got anything I wanted that way. So it was, I learned how to cry and get what I wanted from my mother, which didn't serve me as I grew up, just because no one really cares if I cried if I wanted something. So I had to make stuff happen. So I had to I couldn't control my feelings. I had to control my reactions and my responses to my feelings. And, people told me I was overly sensitive and stuff, and I'm not. I am perfectly happy feeling my emotions. I am perfectly content feeling sadness or fear. And I am perfectly ecstatically enthusiastic about the joyous and deliciousness of life simply because I am. So Jessica said, I'm still learning about expressing my feelings. And that's good, Jessica. And it's about a response, not a reaction. So that's chapter 3. You can go back and watch the last couple of days. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.